Okay, so you got a little glimpse of what Guinevere is. Well, this session is Guinevere, or Let the Fun of Learning a Language Begin. We've got a great panel today. Our speakers are Heike Phelps, Michael Thomas, and Nick Svarts. You can see them here on the couch. And Sylvia Bonini will be joining us from text. She's having some problems getting through that line. So Sylvia is a senior research assistant at the University of Central Lancashire in the UK. Heike is a CEO of Let's Talk Online, SPRL. Michael is a professor of higher education and online learning at the University of Central Lancashire. And Nick is the founder of 3D LES. Welcome all. Let's begin this session, and I'm going to pass it off to Heike.
Hello there, and everybody, welcome everybody. And those who have been just here earlier have already seen a glimpse of what we are developing, and we're ever so grateful that Nick Swart is part of our team, as we are just about to enter that phase of the pilot testing, where we're actually going to use some of the analytic data that the learner analytics system that he's put in place, of which we have been absolutely in awe. So can I ask the audience just briefly, who has not been at the previous session? Who's new, just come and join now. Or have most of you have heard about Guinevere before? Just give me an indication in text chat.
There you go.
Okay, so most of us have been here before, but would still like to pass the word just briefly to Michael to give us the bigger picture of what Guinevere is all about and why it's so fundamental for the development of language learning in virtual worlds.
Okay, thanks, Heike. Yeah, we're back by popular demand, round 2 of Guinevere. But like Heike said, we just want to set this in a broader context. So we've talked about the project. We've talked about the fact that it's a 2-year project from 2017 to 2019, and the nature of the consortium and the aims of the project. And we really want to focus on kind of bringing in creativity and collaborative forms of language learning that use immersive environments. And Guinevere develops from some previous projects that we've all been involved with, and Heike in particular has been involved with, such as Avalon and the Camelot project, for example. So Guinevere tries to develop from some of these conclusions that we had with these other projects, looking at language learning in virtual worlds. And again, like we said, focused on the use of project-based learning, using games in order to engage learners in interactive language learning experiences. So this time we had a series of intellectual outputs or deliverables, and we can divide these up into different phases. So the first phase of the project really was trying to map the wider area of existing research and existing practitioner communities who've been using games in language learning in a broader sense, and then language learning in virtual learning environments. So we did a needs analysis with teachers and with students across the project consortium in Turkey and in Belgium and Germany, for example, and Italy as well in particular. And we found out a lot of information about how they're using games in language learning and in the virtual environment context. And then we produced a comprehensive literature review which aimed to categorize games. And then we produced a report about the guidelines for language teachers, how they can design these activities and game-like environments, and how they can integrate them into their curricula. The next phase that we're really going into now is to look at how we design the games and activities in these different environments, in OpenSIM, in Minecraft, and in Second Life. And we need to have some teacher input into that in order to help us with the learning design. And then we're going to field test these environments with teachers over the next about 4 months, I think. And eventually this will lead to the development of a teacher training course. So often in computer-assisted learning or e-learning, we find a lot of the research is directed towards learners and improving the learner experience. But a lot of the research might fail, if you like, or one of the reasons why research does fail is that we don't really focus on how we can train teachers most effectively. So one of the big outcomes of the project will be the development of a teacher training course, which will be offered online. There'll be 2 iterations of this teacher training course, about 5 weeks in duration. And the first one will look at the use of games within education and language learning in a broader sense. And the second one will then apply these principles in the virtual environments. So I think that gives you a bit of an overview. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Michael. And this is the challenging thing about this project this time is that we're actually operating in 3 different environments. And as mentioned, Nick is our expert in OpenSIM. So we have prepared some slides to talk a little bit about the 4 SIMs that he set up there. And if I could pass over the slide. But before that, I would really like to ask the audience, first of all, please don't hold any questions. We'll pick up the questions as we go along. And also, is there any interest in actually joining these pilot testing phases that we are about to engage in? So from about March, April this year, after the field testing, which will be done with schools, but also with teacher trainers or student teachers at the University of Istanbul and different age groups. As we now have the situation that we are able to invite students from all learning ranges, namely the younger ones for Minecraft, the teenagers round for OpenSIM, and the adult learners for Second Life. And so we would like to cover all sorts of different age groups this time, which is absolutely a wonderful thing to do. So I'm going to just pass the word to Nick one more time, just to briefly give us an overview of the island in OpenSIM that he has prepared for that teacher training pilot testing phase that is upcoming now, and also for the field tests.
Hey, before we jump to Nick, I'm sorry, Nick. Yeah. Just currently there's 2 questions, Heike, about what you just asked. One is how do they contact you if they want to get involved? And the other is, are there opportunities to help contribute to the project with other game data tools in the project?
Fantastic questions. Does anybody want to, just with the gaming and data tool? Michael, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, I mean, we're open to collaboration. That's why we're here today, to promote the project and to try and get a kind of community of practice around the Guinevere project, practitioners or researchers or people working in the learning technology fields and data analytics fields. So definitely, we've got our contact information on there. We've given you our website, guinevereproject.eu. So, please get in touch with us. And we're really open to collaborating with you.
And we'll display our email addresses at the end of the presentation. So first of all, over to Nick, just to let us know a little bit about the OpenSIM, the OpenSIM installation that we've set up, and the 4 different islands. Over to you.
Yes. Okay. Well, there are 4 islands. Thank you, Heike. And the URL you see here, world.guinevereproject.eu. colon 8002, and that's open for Hypergrid at the moment, the coming week also, so you can have a look yourself. We have 4 islands, and the first one I already showed in the previous presentation, the Guinevere Island, where we have the orientation castle, and we have also the quest path. And then we have a second island called Team Up. And it's an island which we still need to work a lot on that. It's especially for team games, where 4 students, like two students from Spain and 2 students from Netherlands, will have to go into this world or on this island, and they have to find clues and stuff. it still needs a lot of work on it. So it's one of the islands that we will do last probably. But the most important one is Edificare, which is the sandbox where where teachers can build their games. But there are also games on display which they can use, they can try. And we have the whole island itself is open for building. So we can, and we will do sessions also there with teachers. And then the last island is movie studio, and it's built with ready-made environments for role play in machinima, and we see this island over here, role play sim. As you can see, it's a nice island, but it's divided in 2 levels, because at the bottom we have normal island, but at the top we have also some things on a platform where you can, for instance, go to an airport, or go to a pub, or go to a laundry, or painting sessions and stuff. So all kinds of environments to use for machinima and role play. And you are switching very good in the pictures I see here. So I know that the audio is a bit later than the slides that we show. But anyway, so role play in machinima is very important also to work with, and so I hope a lot of people will try this. And again, if you have any questions, just type them also in the chat so that we can help you with the answers.
Yeah, and we also want to thank Carol Rainbow for helping with the movie island, especially that because she set up all of these scenes, and she went visiting other grids to go shopping quite extensively to set up these beautiful little scenarios for machinima, and this is what we're grateful for. And now the castle itself and everything around the castle and the quests, which is on the main island, are open for visiting movie island as well. Please do come and join us the next week. Nick said he will keep the hypergrid open, and we would also like to briefly look into, sorry, now I'm going forwards. Oops. Whoops. So here we go. Would like to go forwards. Here's a quest has been developed. Forward to talk a little bit about Minecraft, just 2 minutes, because I would like to also engage in a little bit of a discussion with the audience, and I'm minding the time. Minecraft, we set up quests, games, we're doing some field testing there, and in Minecraft we have a beautiful large sim, again, that Carol Rainbow has been developing, and she's also had a number of students. We've had a number of students in the summer. We prepared the sim. We're doing some field testing now. Minecraft is an absolute fantastic area for age groups 7 to 11. I'm not sure who in the audience is familiar with Minecraft. Oh, Carol Rainbow is an absolute star for us. She's technical, Have you got also experience with using Minecraft with your learners, perhaps? Again, in that area, we would love you to contact us because, again, Minecraft is also new for us. We've worked a lot this year in Minecraft, and it's been a lot of fun, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm a Minecrafter, I'm going to admit it.
Oh, lovely. We also have, obviously, still our islands on EduNation in Second Life, and we are inviting teachers there too for the pilot test. So, and it ranges around games in virtual environments. I mean, here just have a picture of a simulation, because obviously that is also a large area when we talk about global simulations in virtual environments. But we can even talk about simple games such as board games, quizzes, interactive games, mazes, something of just anything to encourage the learners to use language. Yeah, and for this, the environment is absolutely wonderful. So I'm just displaying again our email addresses if you want to contact us, but I would like to open the floor now to questions for the audience. As you're seeing the project develop, it's now in the second year. We've got one more year to go, and we have a fantastic team at hand, as you can see, with Nick, who's even providing us with data, learner analytics data. And we have people like Carol and Crystal in the background doing research, and Silvia Benini, who is one of the main researchers who's done a fantastic study, a meta study on research documentation in gamification and game design. So she's produced some awesome documentation, which is also available at the end of the project to the research community, a meta study on how gamification, the various documentation of gamification. And in this meta study, you will find a lot of quotes or summaries of the individual papers that she has done, and giving us an idea of what the paper is all about is absolutely awesome. It's brilliant. She's spent so much time on it, and the documentation is 100-page long. It's fantastic, absolutely brilliant, with a list of papers included, everything. The gamification research applications. Lisa, you're on the list. It really is brilliant what she's done. So, and questions are, Will Burns says he's playing Minecraft regularly and helps moderate a server. Fantastic. How many students and teachers have been involved so far in the project? Leo asks, and fantastic question. Michael, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, good question. I don't think we have exact figures on that, but certainly getting on for over 250 learners, I think, participating, and I think up to around 30 to 40 teachers that I'm aware of.
And Cyber Serenity asked, but they have to be sooner or later. Sorry, what? I missed that one.
It's about the commercial side, Cyber Serenity.
Oh, the commercial side. No, obviously, EU funds are being used to develop products and services that are freely available to the public, to the wider community, and we're doing this. Yeah, this is why the EU pays for it.
Another question from Cyber Serenity from earlier. She was asking, are teachers going to use this on OpenSIM or like on a stick within their schools?
A very good question asked. Obviously, OpenSIM on the stick is available. We did develop GUINEVERE Island so that we could, when we get the pilot tests and field tests done, that we are able to close the SIM for students for security. Yeah, and so it has been developed in all of the areas where we will develop with the teachers games in virtual environments have already been set up. So we invite people to come to ours, and obviously afterwards that know-how on how to create games in a virtual environment for language education as a self-study course, but also as a synchronous study course, will be available to everyone afterwards. And Leighton asks, are you creating reports of your findings and are they available on the website? Yes, we are. And Nick, could you just mention the website again in text chat? That'd be great.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm afraid we'll have to come to a close to this one. Thank you all for listening, and thank you very much for being so attentive. We look forward to engaging with the audience in this project. We're happy to share it, and give me this mentioning the stick. Okay, fantastic.
All right, well, you guys,
Michael,
thank you so much.
Yeah, Michael and Nick, and also Sylvia in the background.
Yeah. So that wraps it up for this session. Thank you all for your great questions, and thank you to the panel for telling us about Guinevere. What a fascinating and fantastic learning environment. I can't wait to check it out this week.